Well, good morning. This is December 29th, 2020. We're going to start talking about 2021 and what the forecast is for this economy. Now, first off, there's two segments here. We're going to talk about the economy, then we're going to talk about my asset class, housing, and we're going to talk both of them. Now, so far as the economy, first and second quarter of 2021 are going to be unbelievably good. They're going to be terrific. Second quarter 2021 probably going to be off the charts. I'm thinking you're going to get a GDP, a record GDP, maybe as high as 10% GDP for the second quarter. I think 6, 7, 8% is cut in stone that we're going to get that. I don't see any problems with it. We're going to get a really, really strong first and second quarter beyond a shadow of a doubt. Things are going to get very, very good. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. We've been talking about the fact that the liquidity takes about 12 to 18 months to work its way through the system. Keep in mind, it was in March of 2020 that the Treasury put out $6.3 trillion of stimulus, and that takes a little while for that to start coming through the economy. It immediately goes into the stock market. You can see that because it's such a liquid asset class, and you're going to start seeing that money start flowing into Main Street. It takes about 12 to 18 months, and in the end of the second quarter or end of the first quarter, we're really going to start seeing that money start to come in, and you're going to start seeing booming. So industrials are doing real well. Manufacturing is doing real well. IT is doing exceptionally well. Construction is doing really, really well. Here in my marketplace, sometimes it's difficult to get dishwashers and refrigerators and air conditioners because they are just backlogged. There's just not enough of them. And there's a huge demand for these things. Same with labor. Any kind of skilled labor is just being snapped up. They have just so much work to do, and wages are going very, very high. So construction is doing really, really well, and I see this continuing. I do not see a slowdown to it. Market's certainly changing, but I see a very, very strong marketplace. Now, let me talk about housing. Now, in the United States, I see absolutely clear sailing for the next 6 months, particularly in the big markets of Florida, Texas, and Arizona. Now, you're certainly going to have some turmoil in some of the areas that we've talked about before, which are going to be like New York, Chicago, places, Seattle, Portland, some places where they're having some turmoil. A lot of the Rust Belt is going to have problems, and you're going to start seeing people leave the city, but not the region. So the region itself probably is going to show positive growth because you're going to start seeing, keep in mind, whenever you have a real estate transaction, there is a whole pipeline of people who get paid, and it's really, really good for the local economy. So when you start seeing turnover in properties, there's a lot of money that's being generated and a lot of revenue being generated and going into the local economy. And I think you're going to start seeing that in the big markets. You're going to see huge, enormous growth. Florida, Texas, Arizona are going to be the recipients of enormous population trends. And these are just, again, we've talked about the fact that when you have long-term, decades-long trends, you certainly want to get in front of those trends and invest your money. Now, the locals are generally the last ones to know that the market has really, really changed. A lot of these I can see going up very, very significantly next 2, 3, 4 years, where you really see prices really explode. Which brings me to the next topic, which is inflation. I see inflation coming in the next 6 months to a year. I mean, if you just included housing into inflation, we'd be way beyond the target for the Federal Reserve. We'd probably be 6 or 7% using the real housing figures rather than their adjusted figures. And I see no slowdown in price appreciation. I think it's going to accelerate. I think the US dollar probably has a very, very good chance of heading further south. And of course, that puts pressure on anything commodity, any real asset is going to go high. So just think what's happened to lumber and copper and concrete and asphalt and aluminum. These are all the things that you make single-family homes out of, and as their prices go up, I'm going to tell you, not only do you have organic growth in lots of these markets, you're going to be getting some growth from inflation, and it's going to be time to start really thinking of how to protect our purchasing power by buying real assets. So I'm so positive. I'm so excited. I think that 2021 is going to be a great, great year. I see 6 months out. I can't see any real problems in the marketplace. I think we're going to do really, really well. I would talk to my financial advisor, talk to your spouse, see if any of these work for you. We're here in Phoenix. If I can help in any way, my very best to you can get me at Michael at michaeldouville.com. My best. Have a good year. Bye-bye.